Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to The Athletic, Ralf Rangnick has identified a tall midfielder as a top priority for Manchester United, essentially to replace Matic. Rangnick admires Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham, but it's unlikely that Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham will leave in January. There's a lot of players that Manchester United are in for. Now, you know the news on Erling Haaland. Ralf Rangnick wants Erling Haaland. Rangnick recently spoke with Erling Haaland's father, Ralf Haaland, over his son possibly making a move to Manchester United next year. Bild said the other week that Man United are currently only the serious bidder for Erling Haaland, but will have to qualify for the Champions League to get Haaland. Quite a few other clubs have been in for Haaland. If Haaland leaves next year, he will leave in the summer. I'm very sceptical that he'll leave in January. Erling Haaland has a £64 million release clause but doesn't become active until the summer. Haaland has got a contract with Dortmund until 2024. Borussia Dortmund got Haaland from Red Bull Salzburg for £17.1 million. Before Haaland played at Molde, he did play under Solskjaer at Molde. Haaland is regarded as one of the best strikers in the world because he is a prolific goal scorer. For Dortmund, he's made 53 appearances in the Bundesliga and he's scored 53 goals. You know the news on Boubacar Kamara. Not so long ago, he said Manchester United have agreed terms on a £10 million deal to sign Boubacar Kamara. He said Kamara will be announced in the coming days. And it said Boubacar Kamara is set to become the first signing of the Ralf Rangnick era. Kamara is predominantly a defensive midfielder. He can also be deployed as a centre-half. Don't forget Rangnick has already identified Man United's midfield as a weakness. He's 22 years of age, he's Kamara, so he's still very young. He's got a lot of development in him. He's at Marseille. He's been at Marseille all his life. He joined Marseille as a 5-year-old back in 2005. You know, risen up their academy. He's been in Marseille's senior squad since 2016. His current contract at Marseille expires at the end of the season. Frankie de Jong, he was mentioned the other week, but I disregarded Frankie de Jong coming to Man United because not so long ago Fabrizio Romano provided us with an update and he said that Manchester United have not held any talks. And the other week Frankie de Jong's father came out and he admitted that Manchester United have a disadvantage in the transfer pursuit. Frankie de Jong is at Barcelona. Barcelona got him from Ajax back in 2019 for £65 million. Calvin Phillips has been on Man United's agenda. Leeds value Calvin Phillips at around £60 million. If Leeds do get relegated this season, I'm sure that will persuade Calvin Phillips to leave. Manchester United have also been interested in Antonio Rudiger from Chelsea, and recently Julian Alvarez has been spoken about from River Plate. I think Man United will make one signing in January, because Fabrizio Romano said yesterday that Manchester United's main focus on new signings is in the summer, not January. Rangnick has been given £75 million for January. Well, earlier on in the season it said he'd been given a £100 million transfer budget. Rangnick's going to focus more on the outgoings than the incomings in January. Now, obviously, you know the news on Anthony Martial. Yesterday, Anthony Martial held talks with Ralf Rangnick over his future. Martial has reached an agreement to join Sevilla. Martial wants to join Sevilla. If he leaves Manchester United next month, he'll go to Sevilla on loan. And then obviously Sevilla will have an option to buy, or it may include an obligation to buy at the end of the loan. A few other clubs have been in for Martial as well. Not so long ago it said Newcastle wanted to sign Martial on loan, and Newcastle were ready to pay a £6 million loan fee to sign Martial. Martial have been in for him. Barcelona have been in for him. The other week it said Atletico Madrid were planning a swap deal for Martial, and Juventus have also wanted him on loan. A couple of weeks ago, Anthony Martial's agent confirmed that Martial wants to leave Manchester United in January. Manchester United set a £30 million asking price on Martial. Martial is basically demanding more game time, and he's getting nowhere near enough game time at Manchester United. Martial has got an injury at the moment. Martial's been a Manchester United player for 6.5 years. He's got 2.5 years left on his current contract. He's scored 79 goals in 268 games in all competitions. Manchester United paid an initial fee of £36 million for Martial back in 2015 from Monaco. I thought Martial was pretty good last season at Man United, but the best season he's enjoyed was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Edinson Cavani, I think he's definitely leaving next year. If he doesn't leave next month, he'll leave in the summer. Edinson Cavani has agreed to join Barcelona on an 18-month contract. Barcelona are seeing Edinson Cavani as a replacement for Kun Aguero, because Aguero recently retired due to heart problems. Juventus have been in for Cavani, and not so long ago Cavani rejected a move to Boca Juniors. Cavani's contract at Man United expires in the summer. Cavani's got an injury at the moment, but he is close to returning. Cavani had an injury earlier on this season. Cavani initially lost his place in the team with the club re-signing Ronaldo last summer. But Cavani has made an impact at Man United. Man United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG. He was also a long-serving player when he was at PSG. Juan Mata, I think there's a good chance that he'll be leaving next month. If he doesn't leave in January, he'll leave in the summer. Mata's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Because revert back to earlier on in the year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. Can't understand why we extended his contracts for a further year, because Juan Mata doesn't really get in the team, plus he's ageing up and he's lost that yard of pace. But despite that, he's had a good career at Man United. You know, he has made over 200 appearances in all competitions and he's scored over 50 goals, and he's been at Manchester United for 8 years, so he's been a long-serving player. Man United got Mata from Chelsea back in 2014 for 40 million, so brought him in under the David Moyes era. I think Man United are loaning Amad Diallo out next year. Jesse Lingard, he'll leave in the summer, because recently he said Jesse Lingard will stay at Manchester United in January to fight for his place under Ralf Rangnick. Lingard wanted to leave Manchester United under Solskjaer. Not so long ago, Man United set a £20 million asking price on Lingard for him to leave next month. Newcastle are no longer in for Lingard. West Ham actually want to re-sign Lingard. At the second half of last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. And earlier on in the season, I heard that Lingard wanted to go abroad. Lingard doesn't really get in our team. Lingard's contract at Man United expires in the summer. Donny van de Beek, he'll leave in the summer unless he gets the opportunities he's been demanding under Ralf Rangnick. Van de Beek will not be allowed to leave in January because Van de Beek is valued by Ralf Rangnick. I just want to see Van de Beek get more starts. Revert back to when we had Solskjaer, Van de Beek got nowhere near enough opportunities and Van de Beek was very, very frustrated. Towards the end of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure, Van de Beek actually confirmed that he will be leaving Man United in January. You know, he's only scored 2 goals for the club and he's been a Manchester United player for over a year and a half now, and this season's been his second full season at Man United. Man United got Van de Beek in a deal worth 40 million with add-ons included. Man United paid around 35 million up front, 5 million in add-ons. Van de Beek's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Matic, there's a good chance he'll leave as well next year. Paul Pogba, he'll leave in the summer, or could leave in the summer, because ESPN recently said that Manchester United expects Paul Pogba to stay in January despite him nearing the end of his contract. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires in the summer. Revert back to the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer. Not so long ago though, Rangnick said that he won't try to convince Pogba to stay at Man United if he wants to go. The good news is, from a Man United perspective, that Pogba is close to returning. Pogba has been out of a muscle injury for a while. He got the muscle injury in France training earlier on in the season. Phil Jones, I think he'll go next year. It initially said that Benfica were in for him. Now it's saying that Benfica aren't in for him. And I think Bailly will go as well next year. And of course, you know the news on Dean Henderson. Fabrizio Romano said last week that Dean Henderson wants to leave Manchester United in January to get more game time. Henderson's only made 2 appearances this season. Henderson doesn't really get in goal because, revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. Earlier on in the season, Henderson had COVID for a while. Towards the end of last season, though, Henderson got that number 1 jersey and Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. And Henderson's got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield before he's had loan spells with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. And before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 5-year contract at Man United with an option of a 6th year. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. But Ralf Rangnick, he's enjoyed a good start to his managerial career at Man United. You know, Rangnick is unbeaten at the moment. Reflecting on the win against Norwich, that was back-to-back wins in the Premier League for Rangnick. Rangnick is Manchester United's interim manager on a 6-month contract. That takes him until the end of the season. And it did mention that Rangnick will take the consultancy role for a further 2 years. But there again, Rangnick's been warned he could lose the consultancy role if he fails to get Manchester United into the Champions League. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Rangnick, if he does well as interim manager, there's a chance he'll get the Man United job on a permanent basis. Now, as you all know, yesterday, Manchester United confirmed the appointment of Ewan Sharp as an assistant coach and analyst. Obviously, we got Ewan Sharp from Lokomotiv Moscow. Before, Ewan Sharp worked at Toronto and he also worked at New York Red Bulls. And Ewan Sharp has worked with Ralf Rangnick before, which is beneficial, and he's also worked with Chris Armas twice before, which is also beneficial. You know, it's Rangnick's 3rd edition. Revert back to earlier on in the season, you know, Rangnick appointed Chris Armas in as an assistant, and he also appointed Sas Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. Now I'm hearing that Old Trafford is set for a revamp. I haven't read into it fully. I'm just hearing that Man United are going to increase the capacity from like 74,000 to 80,000. And other parts of the stadium as well is going to be done up. In the summer, Manchester United will get a permanent manager. There's been quite a few names linked with a permanent role at Man United recently. That Ruben Amorim was spoken about. He said Man United and Leeds are in for him. Ruben Amorim has a £25 million release clause. He's currently the manager of Sporting Lisbon. He's been Sporting Lisbon manager for almost 2 years. He's got a contract with Sporting Lisbon till 2023. He's won some trophies at Sporting Lisbon. Before Sporting Lisbon, he managed Braga. I think he won a trophy or 2 there. And before Braga, he managed Casa Pia. He's a very young coach, is Ruben Amorim. You know, he's only the age of 36. At one point, Amorim advised Manchester United to hire Erik ten Hag. And obviously, Erik ten Hag's been persistently linked with a permanent role at Man United. A few weeks ago now, Edwin van der Sar spoke about Manchester United's interest in Erik ten Hag. Earlier on in the season, Brendan Rodgers was linked with a permanent role at Man United. I disregarded Brendan Rodgers because earlier on in the season, Brendan Rodgers dismissed links to the Man United job. He come out and said that I'm proud to be at Leicester, but at one point he said Rodgers was house hunting in Cheshire. And that did stir suggestions up. At that point it said Rodgers was the favourite to replace Solskjaer. Roberto Mancini was mentioned a few weeks ago, and Pochettino has been persistently linked with a permanent role at Man United. Man United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. Sacked David Moyes, sacked Louis van Gaal, sacked Jose Mourinho, and a month ago, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, this morning I gave you the preview for the Newcastle United versus Manchester United game. Obviously, it is on Monday night, the 27th of December. It's 8 o'clock kick-off at St James's Park. Now, obviously, if Manchester United do beat Newcastle, it will be 4 wins in a row in the Premier League. As things stand at the moment, Manchester United's game against Newcastle is going ahead. Manchester United's players recently returned to training at Carrington. Manchester United have had the last 2 games postponed because of positive COVID tests. Manchester United had the games against Brentford and Brighton postponed. A lot of other games have been postponed as well. By the way, Liverpool-Leeds has just been postponed, was it today? And Wolves and Watford got postponed. Earlier on this week, though, the Premier League had a meeting, and Premier League clubs and EFL clubs rejected any more postponements. The last game Manchester United played was Norwich. Manchester United won 1-0. Cristiano Ronaldo scored the winning goal from the penalty spot. Ronaldo has 13 goals in all competitions since he re-signed, and he's got 802 goals in his career. It was a very poor performance against Norwich, so we need to see a far superior performance against Newcastle on Monday. I am expecting Manchester United to beat Newcastle though, because Newcastle are a terrible team. They're enduring a very, very bad season. Newcastle, 19th in the Premier League? I can assure that Newcastle will be relegated this season. Newcastle recently lost 4-0 to Man City. Revert back to October, Newcastle had that £300 million takeover by the Saudi Arabians. So reflecting on that, Newcastle are planning to spend heavily next year. Obviously, before the Saudi Arabians, Newcastle had Mike Ashley. Mike Ashley was Newcastle's owner for around 13 years. Mike Ashley got heavily criticised. Newcastle's manager is Eddie Howe. Newcastle appointed Eddie Howe in earlier on in the season to replace Steve Bruce. When Eddie Howe got appointed in, he signed a 2.5-year contract at Newcastle. Before Newcastle, Eddie Howe was at Bournemouth. He was at Bournemouth for a long time, and he did also have a spell at Burnley. Earlier on this season, Newcastle sacked Steve Bruce. Before Steve Bruce, Newcastle had Rafa Benitez. Rafa Benitez did resign at Newcastle because he didn't get enough backing, and a lot of Newcastle fans were disappointed when he resigned because, to be fair, Newcastle were actually consistent under Rafa Benitez. Like I said, I do know quite a few of the players that Newcastle have got. They've got some good players in there. Obviously they've got Ryan Fraser, he's a former Bournemouth player. They've also got Callum Wilson, he's a former Bournemouth player. To be fair, I think Callum Wilson's quite good. Newcastle have also got Alain Saint-Maximin. He's probably the best player Newcastle have got. He come back from injury not so long ago. Newcastle have also got Joe Linton. They've also got Dwight Gale. They've got Elliot Anderson, Jacob Murphy. They've also got Sean Longstaff. Sean Longstaff's a decent midfielder. He's brothers with Matty Longstaff. Matty Longstaff is out on loan at the moment with Aberdeen. Newcastle have also got Isaac Hayden. As you all know, he's suspended for this game. He picked up a 5th yellow card, didn't he, in Newcastle's 4-0 defeat to Man City. Newcastle have also got John Joe Shelvey. He's out with injury, picked up the injury not so long ago. John Joe Shelvey is a former Liverpool and Swansea player. Newcastle have also got Jamal Lascelles. He's pretty good. Newcastle have also got Federico Fernandez. He's been out with injury. They've also got Manquillo. He's been out with illness. They've also got Jamal Lewis. He's out with injury. Newcastle got Jamal Lewis from Norwich. Newcastle have also got Paul Dummett. He's obviously been out with injury. Newcastle have got Almiron. They've got Jeff Henrick. They've got Matt Ritchie and Kieran Clark. So they are quite a few of the players that Newcastle have got. The goalkeepers, obviously, Newcastle have got Carl Darlow, and they've got another goalkeeper called Dubravka. So there you go, and Manchester United have got a very good record against Newcastle. We seldom lose to them. Manchester United won this fixture at St James's Park last season 4-1. Man United beat Newcastle at Old Trafford earlier on this season 4-1. That was the game when Ronaldo scored twice on his second debut. Man United have got players missing. Pogba's still out, but he's close to returning, like I mentioned earlier. Varane, he's expected to make his return against Newcastle. Varane has been out of a hamstring injury earlier on this season. Varane had a groin injury, and he was out with that groin injury for a few weeks. But the games Varane has played in, you can see the huge difference he's made. Edison Cavani, he could be available for this game. He's been out with injury. Lindelof, of course, he's had a chest injury. Lindelof had to come off in the game against Norwich because he was suffering breathing difficulties and chest pains. After the game, Rangnick did say that Lindelof is okay. Obviously, Lindelof got seen by the club doctor. Martial's got a minor injury as well. And that's it. Matic, as you all know, has been out with a cold, and Juan Mata has had illness. Rangnick will make some changes in the game against Newcastle from the 1-0 win against Norwich. He will probably stick with the 4-2-2 formation. By the way, Rangnick has done his press conference for the game against Newcastle. On my next video, I'll be giving you my reaction to his press conference. After Newcastle, Manchester United play Burnley on the 30th of January. So yeah. And the first game of 2022 is Wolves. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.